convention center with 5 check luggages. So we've actually been in Montreal for about a day and a half now, but honestly it's been like super hot and I just couldn't be bothered to vlog. But I think when I'm setting up, I will try to talk about the things we did and maybe like attach the photos or whatever. But we're just currently waiting for our Uber to pick up us and all of our luggages, and we're gonna head to the convention center to set up. The setup is looking so far. So usually I don't have this kind of protruding out, but I have 2 new pieces of apparel, so those are going there. But the table's looking quite symmetrical, so like 2 protruding cubes and another protruding cube and a little indent. And then now we're gonna put that one up here. Alright, the table display is done. This is looking a little bit lopsided, but we're gonna fix that tomorrow just because we're gonna be messing with the display. I have a Corgo holding a Corgo fan. How cute is that? I love that. Yeah, and then so we have our displays out, and then we'll populate everything tomorrow. But we're done. Took about I think 45 minutes to set up, which is pretty fast for us actually. All right, good morning everyone. It is Friday morning of Otakuthon, so it's about an hour before opening. So right now we're just spending time populating the entire table. Hello, sorry for not vlogging as much. It's been super hot and humid, and honestly I cannot be bothered to pull out the vlog camera. So I might just, I think I said this earlier, but I think I'm just gonna like pop pictures and talk about it. But yeah, just going to populate the table. I have merch and apparel just chilling on the ground right now, so I'm just gonna go organize that and get the table ready. All right, these guys have been vacuum sealed for about 2 days, and every time I vacuum seal them, I get a lot of hate, quote hate, on Instagram because I'm being cruel to the Corgos. So it's time to set them free. This is the most satisfying part. And look how much they expand. They are free. So right now I'm currently just folding my crew neck. So I kind of just shove them in the luggage just because it saves a lot of space. Because before I used to like stack them up like this and then vacuum seal it, but that took up way too much space. So how they are right now is like the sleeves are like tucked in like that and then folded like that in multiples of 5, and then it saves a lot of space. Also, this is like really off topic, but I got this fan off of Amazon and it's battery operated. And if you know, summer cons could get so hot, and it's only an hour-ish before opening, and it's already so hot in here, and the crowds aren't even here yet. But I am gonna test this out today. It's supposed to last up to 12 hours. I'm stupidly excited for this just because like I was gonna put it up like this, and like you can put it on your tabletop as well. So I'm like really excited for this, and it's been helping with setup a lot. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. If you're a con artist, highly recommend. All right, so here's how the table setup is looking. So these are 2 new apparels. So we got some corgis and some balloons, and then we got bread. We got sticky notes here, plushies, decals. I do need to add a sign that says I have tricolor black corgis here. We got our stickers, sticker books. Usually my glass cups would go here, but I missed the deadline to ship stuff to my hotel, so I have no glass cups. And then, oh my god, this is like so cluttered, but keychains were a last minute addition to my shop this summer, so I actually didn't have a way to display them. This is the temporary solution for this summer, but hopefully next summer I'll have something a little bit better. We got phone grips, and then these are new. These are reversible bucket hats, and I brought these back because I got a lot of requests from people because they would always ask me where's the gray one, so woohoo! Oh, and I got a Corgo holding a Corgo fan, so these are like the handheld plastic fans. You can get them for $5 or purchases over $40. And the reason why I chose $40 was because I looked at my Square machine and my average order was about $35 per order. So I'm going to see if this kind of pushes it up to $40. But we'll see how this does. I might lower it just because I am walking around and I'm seeing other people offering the same deal, but for a lower price, but we'll see. My goal is to use this promotion to bring up my average sale per whatever, my average sale. So hopefully that will help. And I do need to make like an 8-foot version because originally I made this for a 6-feet setup, but recently I've been doing a lot of conventions with an 8-foot setup. So I do need to make a longer banner or put some sort of like white space filler thingy bob. But yeah, it's not a big deal, but I like my setup clean and nice, so this kind of bothers me. But yeah. This is how the back of table situation is looking like. This is quite empty. I'm pretty sure I'm going to fill it up, but here we have our little packing station. So we got stickers, we got small bags, business cards, extra signage, bags, and then this section right here is sort of like our personal area. So like our phones, the spare machine's going to go here. This is really empty right now. Previously, this is where I used to put my tote bags, but I don't have tote bags anymore. And we have the 2 new apparel. So right now they're just chilling in the luggage. Alright everyone, it's been 3 hours since the show has started and it's really busy. I think this is my first larger anime convention in Canada, so I'm not really sure what to expect, but it is freaking hot in here and I don't know if they have AC or not, but it's freaking hot, and my tabletop fan that I was talking about earlier has been a godsend. I also have these like little handheld fans that have been a blessing, and a lot of people have been like walking past by and like buying the fans, and rightfully so. It's so hot. But yeah, I think my aisle, the aisle in front of me, is like very tight just because our aisle does have a pillar at the end, and then the other aisles are a bit wider, so I do notice that people are sort of wanting to get out of our aisle, rightfully so, because it's very squished. Sales-wise, things have been moving really well. I'm surprised because even though it's really hot, crew necks have been moving really well. And my plushie keychains are also doing really well, and my reversible bucket hat. So I don't think I showed this, but I released new bucket hats. So this is an embroidered design in the front, and then a little corgi print, and there's been a lot of sticker sales. For those who don't know, Quebec's primary language is actually French and not English, so I haven't had any issues in regards to people wanting to speak French to me. Usually they come up to you and ask if you can speak French, but I do have price signs that have French translations, and I did my best to try to translate, but it seems like it's been sparking a lot of conversation amongst people, and people seem quite appreciative that I have put French translations on. It's still quite early into the show, but it's been really, really good. It's hard to chat just because I did talk about the tight aisles and the hot room, so I can understand why people don't want to chat. Mr. Corgo, what are your thoughts so far?
It's crazy out here.
That's all you have to say?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you have it, folks. It's crazy out here. Alright, so I'm currently soloing the booth because I sent Mr. Kroger off to go get food. Feeling a little bit antsy behind the table just because I usually walk around when I do anime conventions, but it's just so crowded and it's just so difficult to walk around. Yeah, feeling a little bit antsy, but traffic is good. Everyone here is super lovely, super nice. I haven't eaten since 9 a.m. and it's 3, so we're gonna eat while Mr. Kroger works. All right, y'all, it's time to do another check, midday check. Usually I would show my table, but it's just so packed. And for me to leave my table and to go to the front, it's actually about 1 to 2 minutes of walking just because it's so crowded. So I'm going to show my table another time. Don't worry, I'm mic'd up. Don't worry, you're good. You can talk. I'm mic'd up. Right now, it's a little bit slow, and I think it's because there's a new batch of people coming into the convention, and most likely because people are getting off of work and then coming in and window shopping. Sales-wise, we sold the last cream hat. I don't know if I talked about this already. Bucket hats are moving very well. Overall, apparel is moving really well, which I'm surprised about because I have crew necks out in the front, and it's like really hot, so I'm surprised that they're moving. My t-shirts, the yellow-blue t-shirts over there are moving all right.
Guys, it's literally 5:30. There's still 2.5 hours. And if you literally look out here and everywhere else, it's absolutely insane still. You guys are so much fun. Little Corgo is having a great time. at Otakuthon. Just we're having fun. Last few hours of the con, you know. Still pushing through. We're gonna have dinner later.
Remember to hydrate. And we are done day 1. We are tired and sweaty and hungry. Yeah. Hi everyone, we're back for day 2, and currently Mr. Corgo is populating the table. Last night we ended up going to a dinner with a bunch of Toronto artist friends that I've been following and known since 2020, which was really nice. Ready for day 2, and I will catch you guys at my midday check. So before Otakuthon, a lot of Montreal followers were telling me to bring this gray crew neck. I usually don't bring these anymore because they don't sell as well as this one. And I usually have my black t-shirt here, but it is only 11 o'clock, so 1 hour into the show, and we are low stock on this. We have about 5 or 6 left, so thank you for the love. Mr. Corko picked me up some bubble tea. It's 1 p.m. right now, so it's only 3 hours into the show, and today ends at 7, so 6 more hours. Wow. So this is my first time doing a larger anime convention. I tend to do a lot more smaller ones or more medium-sized ones, but this one is definitely the largest one I've done. It's very, very busy. Everything is moving pretty evenly. While Mr. Corgo was out grabbing drinks, I was alone for about half an hour. I think that entire half an hour, I was just doing transactions back to back to back to back. It was getting very overwhelming. Like I previously talked about, our aisle is quite small. They did try to do one-way. One-way traffic never ever works. Even in like a city setting, it just never works. But a bunch of us complained, and then they immediately removed the one-way, so everything's kind of back to normal. But I still feel really bad for the attendees just because it's so packed. It's so hard to navigate. I'm wondering if the tight aisle is affecting my sales or not. I just can't help but think about if we had a regular aisle, if it would help my sales or not. Honestly, nothing to complain about on my part. I just feel pretty bad about the attendees being squashed into an aisle, but I think it's pretty natural for me to be curious if my sales would be different if we had a regular aisle. I think Montreal people are quite sweet. I'm used to people being quite chatty and lingering a little bit to talk, but I think just because of the aisle situation, it's quite difficult to chat, and there's not really an opportunity to chat. So usually when people tell me that they have their corgis, they often will linger and will exchange photos and then talk about them and their characteristics and their personalities. But just because everything is so tight, they show me photos, and then I show photos of Oliver and Chester, and then they're like, okay, bye, and then they leave. So, but I think if we were in a regular aisle, I think people would definitely be a lot more chattier. So I think this convention so far has been feeling quite like strictly shop, which I'm not really used to, but people are very friendly and very sweet, but aisle situation makes them not want to chat, so yeah. All right, I am soloing the table just for a little bit because Mr. Corgo is off on a coffee run. Right now it is 4 p.m., so there's 3 hours left of the show. Otakuthon is known to have really bad reception in the building, and I didn't have a problem until maybe about an hour ago. It's pretty frustrating because I feel like I'm missing sales, or I feel like I'm inconveniencing people because they have to wait for the transaction to go through. So I'm trying to encourage cash payments right now, and most attendees are pretty understanding because a lot of them have been to Otakuthon before, or they've been walking around and everyone else is basically experiencing the same thing. So everyone's been pretty understanding for the most part, but it's still pretty frustrating. I know some artists that got some pocket Wi-Fis and they aren't having any issues. So if I get into the show next year, I'm definitely gonna get a pocket Wi-Fi to mitigate those problems. I mean, like, of course everyone is quite understanding, quite patient, but it's still like frustrating and like awkward to stand there while you're waiting for your square machine to like spin around. I'm gonna put the camera down just because I have a small crowd around my table right now. All right, hello everyone. Put the camera down around 4 o'clock because it was getting busy, and now it's 5:45 and I finally have time to talk. I was not expecting such a long rush, but update on my table. So keychains over here, moving very well. Every time I bring crew necks to a new event, I just like completely clear out. I am completely out of a lot of sizes here. I only have a small of the gray and then a large of the gray on display. Sand crew necks, I'm basically about 80% sold out. It's really interesting seeing the size differences because certain places large does better, and certain places medium does better, and back at home in Vancouver, small does really well. So it's just really interesting to see like all the differences between cities. So it's kind of hard to prepare for that. So these Corgos, the bag was filled up all the way to the line here, and it's more than halfway down. Oh, and fans, like these handheld fans. I brought about 100 fans, and we are completely out. So I was not expecting that. I said this multiple times, but I wanted to use the fans as a way to increase my average dollar value per sale or whatever. But a lot of people have been buying it individually, and I was not expecting that, so we ran out pretty fast. I don't have any for Sunday. We have one display fan just right over here that I'm probably going to try to sell or give away. And look at this, it's just packed, completely packed. I think the general consensus is that this year is a lot slower than last year, and honestly, I think that can be said about pretty much any con this year, just because I think the post-COVID hype is starting to end. But also the economy has been pretty hard and everything's just so expensive. So I understand that everything is down, and I'm just lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be making some money. Yeah, I'm just grateful to be here. It is super packed in here. So usually when I do conventions, I really want to walk around, but this is the first time where I don't even want to try walking around. I have a lot of friends that I've never met before that I really want to visit, but it's just so packed and so warm in here. So I haven't had a chance to visit all of my friends and other artists that I've been wanting to buy from. And we are done day 2. We are back for day 3. Doors are open. So today I am actually alone for a good chunk of the day because Mr. Corgo isn't feeling so well, but it should be all good. It's Sunday, so Sunday is usually the slowest day, but I haven't soloed in a really long time because I'm spoiled and he helps me quite a bit, but we'll see how the day goes. I'm not anticipating anything too busy or too hard, so I should be fine. I am feeling a bit of a cold developing, which is really annoying because I find that every time I do travel conventions, I develop a bit of a cold, literally like right after, which is really annoying because I have Anime later this weekend, so I would like to feel good so I can prep for it, but also no one likes to be sick. I forgot to mention this previously, but throughout the weekend, I've been getting a lot of people mentioning that they saw my Icon vlog. So if you don't know what Icon is an anime convention in Winnipeg, and currently I'm in Montreal, so it's really surprising to see people see my videos, even though like I'm in Montreal and like Winnipeg's like pretty far away. But it's pretty cool that people are seeing my videos. But like the amount of people that have told me that they saw my video, it is really inspiring me to make a YouTube sticker. Whenever someone comes up to me and mentions my YouTube, then I would give them a sticker. I know I said this in my last video, but like the fact that I'm in a completely new city that I've never been in, and people are saying the same thing about my videos, like I really need to get on that. Hopefully you guys are finding this vlog interesting because I think most of the time I've just been filming my face, and usually I film like my table setup and like the environment around me. But it's just so difficult to walk around, and I don't feel comfortable pointing my camera at people while they're shopping or filming my interactions with people, just because I think it's a little bit invasive to people's privacy. So I will try to get more types of shots and content. Alright, hello everyone, it's time for a midday check. So right now it is 1 p.m. and today the show ends at 5 p.m. So there's 4 hours left and 3 hours have passed. Sundays are always super interesting because either the first hour or two is really dead because everyone wants to sleep in, or it's really busy because everyone swarms you because they want to buy. Today, everyone swarmed my table for about 2 hours straight because everyone was noticing that I was low in stock on a bunch of stuff, and everyone was scared of things just selling out. So since I'm manning the table by myself today, it was really stressful, and my Square machine stopped working for a little bit and stopped taking card payments, and I had to like tried to encourage cash sales, but it just was not taking card payments, and I had to restart it like 3 times. So that was really stressful, but everything is solved now. So I think every artist knows that people tend to tell you that, oh, they'll come back, and I would say about half the time people don't actually come back, which is fine. There's no obligation to come back, but I think it's just a good excuse for people to use to like leave a table without feeling awkward, I guess. But I'm finding that this convention, people are telling me that they're going to come back, and they actually do come back. I don't get offended if people don't come back. Like, honestly, this environment is super overstimulating, and not everyone actually wants to come back, which I totally understand. But it's just nice to see that people are coming back. All right, y'all, it's 4 p.m., so that means there's 1 hour left of the show. Mr. Corgo came by around 2:30 or 3, and I just finished eating, so I get to finally walk around. This is my first walk of the entire weekend, and oh my god, this Sunday has been extremely hectic. I've never had a Sunday like this before. Usually most of the time I'm like chilling, but this is like the most hectic Sunday I've had. And I had like some corgi owners come by, and they gave me like the largest order I've had like all time across online and like vendoring. And like I almost cried because they literally just wouldn't stop they just literally wouldn't stop adding stuff. And I was like, oh my god, like thank you so much. But yeah, so that happened. We are done! Otakuthon! Woohoo! Hello! Oh my gosh, Otakuthon was about a month ago from the time of this voice recording, so I think this end of video chat will be a lot shorter than usual. It's been a super hectic month as I've been doing a lot of back-to-back cons, but let's sit down and talk about Otakuthon. On the screen you might notice some clips of me and Mr. Corgo breaking down, but also I'll try to include some photos and video clips of our time in Montreal because I did promise this to be like a hybrid travel/work video. But let's sit down and talk Otakuthon. This was our very first time attending Otakuthon and also visiting Montreal as a city. So given this, we wanted to treat this trip as half vacation and half work. Montreal was a super fun city with a lot of great food. We had a blast tabling on Otakuthon and just trying all the different types of food in Montreal. Like mentioned multiple times in the vlog, we were placed in a bit of an unfortunate aisle where the aisles were a lot tighter, as I did talk about this a lot in our video. This may have affected my experience at the show. I did notice guests were quite quick to browse our aisle, and since it was quite uncomfortable, I'm sure people just wanted to be in and out. I'm not sure if this directly affected my experience or my sales, but I think it's pretty natural and fair to wonder if it did. Myself and many other artists experienced reception issues. I heard in previous years that it was only in specific spots of the convention center. However, this year it seemed like most artists were experiencing some sort of connectivity issues. A Wi-Fi pocket is highly recommended for those who attend the show. To attend Otakuthon, we found travel expenses significantly more than our other events. Even though we did use points to help with flight costs and shared accommodation with other artists to keep expenses low, we still found it to be one of our more expensive shows. This can be attributed to the fact that Montreal is a larger city and also considered a tourist city, but also due to the fact that there were also other large events going on as well on the same weekend. We overall had such a lovely time tabling at Otakuthon and exploring Montreal. I hope you found this vlog and my experience insightful and interesting. Please keep in mind that my experience is my own, and everyone is entitled to their own thoughts and feelings about shows. What may work for me may not work for others, and vice versa. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this vlog, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next video.